Hey! This has to work, otherwise I'd have to dig this whole thing back up. All right, exciting day. Finally, you guys been following along. We've got the storm shelter, the homemade French drain. Now, the completion, the final wrap up. Getting the pipe from the distribution box, ran all the way out to the creek on the neighbor's property. If you guys haven't watched the original video of the DIY storm cellar, go back and watch it. And then after that, the French drain. I'll link them on the end screen of this video. But I'm telling you, that little DR digger bumper pull thing, if you guys are old enough to remember those commercials that used to be on all the time, you know, it would show them in this perfectly manicured lawn, and you would watch them and be like, yeah, that's probably sifted dirt, right? Like that thing wouldn't do anything. I dug that whole hole with that little thing right there. As my neighbors, such a blessing to be able to use that thing, because otherwise I don't have access to anything else. And I don't know when the last time you guys went to try to rent a Mini X or something like that, but I mean, they're high, like they're really high. So that's super exciting. But yeah, that little bumper pull, little DR trimmer with that little Yamaha engine, we learned that like the outriggers and stuff are pointless. You try to use it behind like a side-by-side or something, not heavy enough. Put it behind like a full-size truck, because it'll even still, it's got plenty of power, hydraulic power. It just don't have enough counterweight. But anyways, not a sponsor, but I will say I would take a sponsorship from them guys, because I'm actually impressed with that thing. But here we are, DIY French drain. Oh, I think a baby bird fell out of the nest. Have to get Mrs. Pace Acre. We might have a rescue operation. Yeah, I can hear him chirping up high up there. Might have a rescue operation for the chickens or something. See it? They will not be nice to a little thing like that. But you got to go back, check out this storm cellar to its full build. I mean, for here on Pace Acre, huge job, huge job. But that being said, then after that, there's a video with the French drain. But here we are. This is Operation Get Some Projects Done. So next out, there's a creek. That's the property line right there. There's a creek. So when we pick it back up, I'm gonna go on the neighbor's place over there. Gonna trench on out, poke out to the creek, and get this out to daylight. That's the next step. Get this solid pipe out, and we'll go from there. All right, out of gas. Got to go gas this thing up, but I wanted to show you guys where we're at. So we are, fortunately, using my laser eyeball right here, we got to fall all the way out here. Thank goodness, too, because where that storm cellar is sitting, I got all the way down with this little machine. I dug down until I hit the bedrock, like the full solid shell. This whole trench right here, all the way up through here, that's on the bedrock. But it's already got that nice fall, that natural fall. See this hole right here? That's as deep as we can go. We've got to get this dug the rest of the way, that pipe off that French drain right here into this hole. Just have it sticking out a good, 2 or 3 feet in there just to keep any dirt and debris. Side note, have you guys bought PVC lately? Or is it, sometimes I think I have prices stuck in my head from like 2003 when I used to build houses and do stuff like that. Back when 7/16, the cheap junky OSB was like $5 or $6 a sheet. But I had 4-inch PVC. I had it in mind for, I don't know, $10-12 a stick. No, $28 a stick plus tax. So anyways, that's my middle-aged man gripe, I guess you'd say. Last time, I'm picking up from yesterday when I got that trench dug the rest of the way. What I didn't bother to show you guys is, of course, the end of the pipe was buried. So I just had to pick that out, shovel it out. One thing for sure, if you're gonna be a homesteader, you can't be afraid to work. That's a fact. But here we go. I threw a level on that. It looks like I've got that far enough. Fun little fact, you guys know that do this stuff. You buy glue and primer and you use it and you have some left over, and then you end up with some extra, but then the next time you got to do a job, your glue's set up. So the trick is, and this is not a guy at the local hardware store, you just store them upside down on the cap like that. These are actually from last year. I bought new when I bought the pipe because, usually it's ruined. But this is my old stuff. Still good. Getting to use it up. And you always buy 2. And then you guys that know, because you're going to spill one of them. Especially most of the time you're gluing pipe, you're crawling around under a house. Oh no. Always remember, shove it on, quarter turn, and hold. My trench has got a little bit of a snaky shape to it, but that won't matter once it's all buried. Still be straight enough to where I'll be able to, hopefully I don't ever have to snake it, but you never know. Where I'm gonna end it back out there is just on a flat rock out there. It's actually right on the bedrock itself, where that creek's washed it out to. So hopefully, being way out there, short of a critter getting up in there and dying or something, there shouldn't be any roots or anything to crawl up there. There she went. Woo! I'm not going crazy about trying to get the fall just perfect. Just making sure there is fall. It's not like a sewer line where you don't want it to fall too much because then the water will outrun the solids. This is just a French drain line. As long as it takes water from that cellar and goes that way, then it's done what I've designed it to do. That quarter turn is the most important thing about gluing pipe. Make sure you don't miss the bottom, obviously, but that quarter turn, it rolls the air bubbles out, any of the high spots of glue. You glue both sides. You'll hear some guys saying you only need to glue one side. I'm like, why even chance it? Last thing you want to do, especially on pressure pipe, is to have a leak. Hallelujah, we are officially off of Pace Acre onto the neighbor's place. Let's keep rolling. So exciting when you're closing in on a project, especially one that's been going on as long as this one. The last stick of pipe. This will be daylight into that creek right there. Then we got to test this whole contraption. Not going to go back and backfill this thing without running a little bit of water down it. That's it. The last piece of the puzzle. So one thing I'm not going to, I don't have like a laser transit. I could have borrowed one or bought one or something. I did borrow one. When I did the slab over there. I did borrow one when I did the slab over there. That being said, this pipe, there's a natural slope all the way from up there down here. So basically what I'm gonna do is I got my 4-foot level. These are 10-foot sections. I'm gonna verify in each one and then make sure, like I can see, you guys can probably see in that joint right there by the fence. It looks like it's got a little high spot, a little spot in it. So I'll make sure that's pushed down, verify everything, and that'll give that glue on these last 2 joints a little time to dry. And then we run some water down this thing. See, that's level. That's like 3 inches and 4 feet. So that's plenty of fall. All right, that looks pretty good. Run some water down it, make sure it does its thing. Then I'm just gonna put a little sprinkle of base rock. I don't wanna use a ton of it, but I do want enough to protect it a little bit from any of these boulders as I push this back in. And it'll also lock the pipe in place so it doesn't move as I'm backfilling. First real test of this DIY French drain distribution box that I made. There, it's filling up. All right, let's go to the other end. There it goes. You gotta see how far it goes. You can hear it. Hey! Look at that. Oh. Cleaning itself out. That's good. You know, sometimes things seem so simple and so basic. But as we go through these projects on our homesteads, and especially when you're doing basically the whole thing by yourself, this is not an easy task. It's an accomplishment, something to be proud of. Is it perfect? No. But is it functional? Yes. That's one of my favorite things, like I've said before, that I just love about homesteading. It's figuring out problems, coming up with a solution, trying to make it affordable, and doing it with these right here, just like we're supposed to, in my opinion. But that's it. It's running way up there, draining down there in the natural creek. So now, shut that water off and we will begin the backfill. One other thing that's really good to note is that drain is keeping up. I made it, you know, probably 3 or 4 inches lower than where the French drains dump in. So it's keeping up. It'll, at the very least, is gonna keep that thing from becoming a swimming pool. That's all we can ask. You guys, as you start going, you catch yourself working faster and faster. You know, it's like when you're driving home from the long trips. Drive the speed limit, drive the speed limit. You start getting closer to home, start getting about 2 hours out. You start really, next thing you know, you're pushing a little more. Well, guys, that's how I'm feeling right now. This project has been going on for so long. And it's good, it's been great. I'm extremely happy with it. Is there things I would change? Of course. That being said, we're closing in here. Not far away from getting to push all these dirt piles. The base rock just really locks it in place, gets down underneath of it where it wasn't touching the bottom of the trench. You know, you professionals out there, obviously, you're gonna do your trench to grade all the way down. I didn't do that. This is DIY. I'm not trying to sell you Pace Acre excavation business. That is how you stay in shape. All right, we got that part done. This is gonna be a little bit slower. I'll just show you that after I get it filled, because I gotta scoop, drive all the way around. All right, I wanted to bring you guys along. We are locked in all the way down through here. We done tested it, you seen earlier. Now, for the first dirt, that gets pushed back in the hole. Praise the Lord. All right, there we have it. Check it out. Does that look a little rough? Yeah, it does. There's so many boulders in here, and I will tell you guys, the glare from the sun, but the amount of water in a big rain that comes down right through here is pretty miraculous. It's amazing. But we have our pipe daylighted right there at the end. So now, next big rain, we'll come out here, I'll make it short or long, whatever. But I will definitely document this thing in action. So basically, give this time to settle a little bit, and the next big rain, we'll sort it out. If it looks terrible, there's some big holes or something, I've got a big dirt pile over there still. No time will pass for you guys, but I gotta pick this back up tomorrow. All right, you guys seen? We got the part all filled in, buried, pipe daylighted out there on the neighbor's place. Now, the final little stretch right here. I don't know if you guys have chickens or not, but if you do, just watch those chickens and guineas. Anytime I'm mowing or anything, they know, or pushing dirt around, they know that there's bugs going to be crawling. You have to watch and try to make sure you're not running over one. I don't worry about so much my young birds, but any of the older birds, they're not so fast. Always a lot to be thankful for. It's July right now in the Ozark Mountains of Arkansas, and I'm so thankful I've got shade. All right, this is the completion of the French drain. I appreciate you guys following along. If you didn't watch the other video, there's the homemade DIY French drain all the way around the building. And if you haven't watched the full build on this storm cellar, bomb cellar, bunker, root cellar, whatever you want to call it, you'll have to scroll down there a ways, but you'll see it. This is on the thumbnail. But it's a big deal. This project's been going on for a long time. We got the French drain down all the way around there. Dumps in here, as you've seen earlier in the video, we tested it. We seen water go all the way out to the neighbor's place and that creek out there. But I got this ditch filled back in. There's always a little bit more to do. You see, I got a full bucket of rocks. That's one thing. In the Ozarks of Arkansas, you got plenty of rocks. So it could always be smoother. It could always be better, but that's where we're at. That's a good spot to stop. I've got it raked out. Frankly, I'm just out of time right now for this piece of the project. One thing that I didn't do yet that I will do soon is I've got a piece of expanded metal. I'm just going to cut it to go over this hole right here, bend 4 ears down, throw some self-tappers in it. That way I'll keep the critters and the kids out of there. Also keep anybody from stepping in there in the dark if we do have to rush in here in an emergency. But it's exciting. It's exciting to get something done when you've been working on it. And frankly, most of it by myself. When it came to stack and block on the cellar itself, I did thank the Lord, have a friend that helped me. Because I'll tell you, that's a lot of work. Hat off to all you block masons out there. But that's going to do this for this video. If you haven't checked out all the rest of the content on the channel, from Jeeps to barbecue to faith videos, there's a new project video that goes up every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Central Time. And I throw a faith video up every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. So, and in between that, lots of shorts, if you like shorts. But anyhow, I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you for following along here on Pace Acre, where I show you guys from moving from the city 6 years ago to what we're doing here on our little homestead, starting out from just a piece of land out here in the middle of this pasture. But anyhow, guys, thanks for following along, and just remember, feed your critters, love your neighbor, and follow Jesus. And have a great day.